Will you survive when food prices triple? Hey, everybody, it's Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. Thank you for joining me for this news roundup today. Today, we're going to talk about the rising cost of food, the direction that things are headed, and it's only higher. We'll talk about why here in just a few minutes. The water shortages, the farms, all leading to higher food prices, food scarcity, and a lot of more problems here that I think we really need to prepare for. And let's start right here. This is out of Reuters. And we've talked about this, the natural disasters, the severe weather, the extreme weather, the catastrophes are pummeling a lot of people, including farmers. And we're seeing more supply shortages. Of course, we always talk about the drought out here out west in the number one agricultural state in the United States, and that's California. Farmers out here being devastated with the cost of water, water cuts. The drought is pummeling these farmers. And I know a lot of people are going to chime in on this and say this is why, that's why. And I've read every theory in the book and every way to describe what's happening now with these catastrophes and the drought. And if you watch enough videos, I mean, some people might even tell you that that space aliens are zapping the water. But what's happening is for every action, there's a reaction. So when you have people that just want to consume, 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 and yes, it's big business too, it's corporations and companies, but without the people consuming, the corporations, there wouldn't be a need for the corporations and the companies to continually manufacture. And it all leads to pollution, earth destruction. And put simply, with every action, there's a reaction. The earth is revolting against the earth being pillaged by consumers. We consume, we consume, we consume, but do we really give back? And we've got this business model here, especially in the United States, but many other countries where it's growth, economic growth, economic growth. Well, what's economic growth? It's expansion, it's rebuilding, it's paving over nature, and it's trash. I mean, trash everywhere, people consuming. The average family of five, between 1 and 2 bags of trash every day, just thrown into the landfill. Oceans full of plastic bottles, oil waste being dumped, on and on and on. So ask yourself, are the catastrophes going to start getting better anytime soon? No, I think they're going to get worse because nothing is being done to reverse this. And here's a view of the Mississippi River at sunset during a blackout in the city after Hurricane Ida made landfall. Also, this year, 2021, was another awful year for fires. Even up in Oregon, the fires were extremely, I think, the worst of all time that we saw in Oregon this year. Recent article, Washington Post. Here's why your food prices keep going up. Expect to see higher prices in the last quarter of this year in a number of grocery categories. Next, mega grocer Kroger is warning that grocery prices are headed higher. Beef prices up 14% this year, while pork prices have jumped over 12%. Poultry up 6.6%. What's going to stop the prices from going even higher? Will they double? Will they triple? I mean, we're headed that direction. Nothing's being done to reverse this. Things are getting worse. Things are not getting better. I guess for those of you out there that believe in Santa Claus, maybe you'll believe that Santa's going to come down and bring you endless amounts of food, but food resources are limited, and there's no magic, there's no Santa Claus that's going to bring you what you're going to need when you or your family is going to need food. So again, ask yourself, will you survive when food prices double, triple, who knows, maybe even worse? Recent article here, foodnavigator.com. Nestle says food prices to rise as inflation bites. Expect to see pricing ramping up. And you don't have to go out and buy $1,000 worth of food at once. For example, every time I'm at the grocery store, I buy a few extra cans of things that I know will last, things that I won't need right away, things that I can just stock away. And guess what? If the time comes to where those are going to expire, then we'll just integrate those into our dinners. We just used a can of beans that was a couple years old that was going to expire, and we put that in some tacos and burritos that we had for dinner just this week. So no big deal. It's just a can of food that we had, and probably paid less for it, a couple years ago than what we would pay for right now. A lot less. And maybe this is what it's going to take to wake people up. I mean, the rising food prices they're saying now is biting in to consumer confidence. So even people that don't follow the markets or follow what the Fed's doing or the money printers, they go to the grocery store. They see rising prices. They see that their dollar is not going as far as it used to. They see that they have many people mouths to feed, and people are starting to get concerned and worried about these rising prices. But yet the Fed's out there in their most recent meeting saying that inflation is still going to continue. They still have an inflation goal, an inflation target. They're not going to allow deflation, basically paraphrasing, but that's what was said out of the money printers here recently out of Powell. Bloomberg, recent article, soaring cost of food is forcing families to scrimp at the dinner table. Inflation is slamming fridges shut and leading households around the world to make sacrifices. This is happening globally, rising prices. And do you think the money printers are going to do anything to stop this inflation? The last I checked, the money printers do not grow food. And the hope from many people is that the money printers will send out enough money to allow people to continue to buy food. But as prices continue to rise, it's going to be bigger and bigger handouts, bigger and bigger payouts. Fourth stimulus check is still in the talks. After everything really starts hitting the fan, I'm sure that some sort of UBI is going to be announced. Speaking of money printers, look what's happening in Brazil. Brazil raises interest rates as it struggles to tame inflation. So if you think the banks are going to be on top of this or stop this from happening, usually the banks are reactionary, meaning the fallout happens or the damage is done by the time the central bank actually does anything about it. From this article here, this is out of FT.com, Financial Times. Brazil's central bank has raised interest rates for the fifth consecutive time this year as it battles to contain inflation that's almost touched double digits. A global commodities rally and the worst drought in almost a century, and a weakened currency have contributed to sharp price rises for everything from food, fuel, hitting millions of people in Latin America's largest economy. Doesn't this sound familiar? A weakened currency. So they're raising rates down in Brazil as people down there are in big, big trouble trying to keep up with the rising cost of living and struggling to feed their family. Financial Post haste. No, you're not imagining it. Food prices are rising and they're set to go even higher. Here's what's causing sticker shock at the grocery store. A lot of the same things we've been talking about. The devastating farms, supply chain issues, labor shortages, lots of people with money to spend, people that don't produce anything, but they sure do consume. The U.S., the number one consumer nation in the world, consuming about 20 to 25% of the world's resources. And let's be honest, a lot of American people do nothing to add to the situation, but they sure do subtract from the situation. A lot of people just sit at home and eat, and there's plenty of people out there that actually don't even work. They just live off of the system. Another recent article here, we talked about this a few weeks ago, but I wanted to go back to it. Drought has California farms destroying crops rather than pay for water. So now farms feel like they're better off just destroying crops versus paying for water. This is extreme, folks. We know that a lot of the reservoir, a lot of the lakes, they are at all-time lows. With this drought here out west, it's going to affect everyone out west. And with California being the number one food producer in the country, it's going to affect everyone across the country, even back east, because food prices are going to go higher for everyone. So if you live on a farm, if you grow your own food right now, bravo to you. Even if you don't live on a farm, if you're growing your own food, anything that you can grow yourself, try to do it. As all I can say, try to prepare. Unless you've got millions of dollars sitting on the sidelines that you can just pay whatever whatever you need to pay for food, continue to prepare, folks, because things aren't looking like they're going in a better direction anytime soon. If you have good news, let me know what's going to reverse this. Maybe you know about some news that I haven't seen that's going to make prices start coming back down. Uh, Again, if you know, let me hear it. I'd love to hear it. And if it's a legitimate story, I'll report on it. So let me know. Thanks everybody for watching. Stay well, keep stacking, stay prepared, stay safe. Bye for now. Peace.